three kings of Orient are bearing gifts we've traversed afar, fields and fountains more and mountains following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Welcome back to Cup of Cheer, and yes, you just heard my mail get delivered. Welcome back to Cup of Cheer, and happy Epiphany, everybody. I wanted to share with you kind of a fun story behind the song We Three Kings in my life. Growing up, I was kind of a church/musical kid, and well, anytime there was a chance to be part of the Christmas production at church, I, of course, wanted to be part of it. And, well, I had better lung capacity for holding notes than, well, everybody at one of the churches that I was going to. So one particular musical that I wanted to be part of, they handed out a few solos. Most of the songs were done by all of the kids within the chorus, or all of the kids that wanted to be part of the production, but there were a handful of songs that were particularly handed out as solo songs to be sung by one person. Sometimes at the end they were joined in by the rest of the chorus or the rest of the kiddos. But most of them were done solo. And one of the last musicals I was in was this particular one. And I remember at the beginning of our rehearsals, I was handed one of these songs to be sung solo. And I had practiced really hard. And a week later, the musical director said, actually, could you sing this other song for us, please? And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah, it just seems to fit your range more. I'm like, oh, okay, I could do that. Practiced really hard. And it wasn't that difficult. It just was something that I had to really work on my part for it, because it was a different range than I was used to a little bit. But I was okay with that. And then she gave me We Three Kings the following week, because I don't know why. I seem to understand that the first couple of times it was because either it was a different range than someone was able to sing, or they no longer wanted to sing their solo, so she thought they could swap it out with mine. So then I got We Three Kings. I didn't know there were so many verses of We Three Kings at the time. I just knew the part that I sang for you, because that was the part that everybody sang all the time. In case you're unaware, there are about 6 stanzas to We Three Kings. There are all of the gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and the introduction of the Three Kings, and it's at least 5 to 6 stanzas. And I did not know that. I knew there were maybe a couple. I didn't know all of them. And I spent a few weeks learning every part of We Three Kings that I didn't even know existed. All to be handed another solo at the very last moment by the musical director. And at that point I said, can this be the very last one? It turned out that someone else was handed Angels We Have Heard on High. And you know that part that says, Gloria? I was the only one who could hold the note that long. Basically, that's what it came down to. And I said I would be willing to sing that if she promised me I would not have to learn a different solo anymore. That was the last one I would be willing to learn and present. So I really wanted to do We Three Kings that Christmas season, because I had learned every verse at the time. I've forgotten a few of them, so I'd have to look them up to do them again. But I really actually appreciated learning that there was a lot more to the song that I had ever known. But it was kind of funny that in the very end of things, I was given Angels We Have Heard on High, which, if I recall correctly, was the first song that I was handed to sing. But oh well. So, in case you didn't know, there's a lot more to We Three Kings than just the first part. Why am I saying all of this? Well, today is Epiphany, and it's the end of the Epiphany season. the 12th day of Christmas, as you may or may not be aware. And I hope that this year, no matter what life brings us, that we would be as wise as those magi, those three kings as some call them. It depends on the translation that you read. Sometimes they're called kings, sometimes they're called magi, sometimes they're called wise men. There may or may not have been three. There were three gifts. So the assumption was that there were three magi, wise men, or kings that came to visit the Christ child. But what we do know about them is that they saw the star in the east, and they brought these three gifts to the Christ child. They journeyed far and wide to go and find this Christ child that had been prophesied long before. And I pray that within this year, for myself and for you watching, that we would have the hearts of those magi, those wise men, those kings, whatever you call them in your family, that we would have that kind of heart, that we would seek the Christ child, that we would seek Christ himself, not just the babe, but the one who came to live, the one who came to die, the one who is our salvation, that we would seek him first. I pray that this year ahead of us is one that we can see blessings in, despite whatever the world tries to tell us. Whatever this year holds, I pray that we hold the Spirit of Christ and Christmas in our hearts. Thank you for continuing to watch along with me, for being part of this journey with me. I hope to see you again next year, well, at the end of this year, for another series of Cup of Cheer. God bless you. From me and mine, to you and yours. I know it may not be Christmas right now for many of you, but a very merry Epiphany and a cup of good cheer. Bye. Ooh, almost fell off my rocking horse. If you want more about that, you can watch my stories. Bye. Or short videos, whatever they're called on YouTube. Bye.